Why do you hate us? He asked it quietly, carefully, with no hint of offense or malice. The words still stopped Kurz in his tracks, causing him to turn, the long blades curving from each of the Primarch's knuckles reflected with golden light of the Emperor's halo, several streets away. What? Sevatar spoke, just as casually as before. Why are you the only Primarch to hate his own legion? What have we done to you? Kurz smiled, barely. I spoke with Angron and Lorgar not long ago. They told me of their purges, cleansing the untrustworthy elements from the 12th and 17th. I laughed when they said it at the sheer absurdity of the idea. They knew when to stop the killing of the weak, the treacherous, and the corrupt within their bloodlines. I wouldn't know where to begin culling mine. Sevatar snorted in dismissal. On any other day, sire, such words might hurt my feelings. Look around you, Kurz said. You were born on this world. You grew into adulthood here, just as I did. The Emperor praised me for my rule on this world. Even Fulgrim admitted it. A model of compliance. An obedient world, they said. Were my people happy? Did it even matter? I made these people human, despite their feral drives. I made them civilized, despite their baser instincts. I raised them above the level of beasts. That was my responsibility to them, as a superior being, and I fulfilled it. Kurz looked into the gray spires, rising in every direction, and the frozen smog from the foundries and manufactorums veiling the spire tops in a haze of pollutant smoke. And you see how my people reward me. I was gone for only a handful of years before everything soured. My own homeworld poisoned my legion with recruits who are worthless as soldiers, rapists, murderers, and thieves. The scum, the dregs, the destitutes. Sevatar almost laughed. Sire, you are no different. The Legion is disorderly and vile because it is cast in your image. No, Kurz drenched in the single syllable in regret. No, you don't understand. I never claimed to be perfect, Sevatar. But I became the sinner, the monster, the night haunter. So my people would never have to. And look at the result. Look at the recruits from Nostromo, less than a decade after I departed. Look at the filth that they send me. Look at the disgusting dregs of humanity, of my own apothecaries, infused with my genetic material and reforge them into transhumans. The eighth is poison, Sev. Generations of men who are murderers in my image, yet devoid of my conviction. They are killers and abusers, and because they want to be, not because someone has to be. The end result is the same, said Sevatar. Fear is the weapon. Fear is supposed to be the means of the end. Look at the bloodshed my legion has wrought there in the last few years. Even before the crusade was done, fear became the end of itself. It was all they desired. They fed on it. My sons were strong, so they bled the weak for their own amusement. Tell me, Captain, where's the nobility in any of this? Where is the nobility in any of this? Sevatar gestured to the streets of Nostromo Quintus around them. You claim to have some sort of savage nobility, father, but this is a far more savage than noble. Kurz's pale lips peeled back from his filed teeth. There was no other way. No? Sevatar answered his father's snarl with a grin. What other ways did you try? Sevatar. Answer me, father. What politics of peace did you teach? What scientific and social illuminations did you bring to this society? In your quest for a human utopia, what other ways did you try beyond eating the flesh of stray dogs and skinning people alive? It was the only way. Sevatar laughed again. The only way to do what? The only way to bring about population to heal? How then did the other Primarchs manage it? How has this world upon the world managed upon it was resorting to butchering children and broadcasting their screams across a planetary voxnet? Their worlds were never as serene as mine. And the serenity of yours died the second your back was turned. So tell me again how you succeeded. Tell me again how this all worked perfectly. Kurz was on him in the time it took to blink. The Primarch's hand wrapped around his throat, lifting him from the ground, stealing his breath. You overstep your bounds, First Captain. How can you lie to me like this? Sevatar's voice through a strangled growl. How can you lie to yourself? I stand here inside your mind, witnessing the theater of your own memories. Your way is the 8th Legion's way now, but it has never been the only way. It's just the easiest way for you. Kurz tightened his grip. You lie. Sevatar narrowed his eyes, his breath escaping as Kurz squeezed. You enjoyed this way, the captain hissed. You came to love it, just as we all did. The power, the righteousness. Kurz released him. Sevatar crashed to the ground, his armor joints snarling with the ceramite scraped against the rockite. Son of a... He trailed off, catching his breath. Son of a god, Kurz said softly. Get up, Sevatar. Leave me be. The first captain rose to his feet, his vision blurred. I'm not going anywhere, sire. Not without you. Kurz smiled. His son could see that much, at least. I admire your tenacity. I always have. But you are a shadow of what I am, Sevatar. You cannot match me. Go. Sevatar filled his lungs with sterile air, the cold air viciously drawing in. Trez released his hand. The Primarch slumped before him, scarred with the lion's blade. His other senses filtered back into life. He smelled the bleachy chemical reek of the apothecarion, a smell which could only never quite hide the scent of fresh blood. He heard Trez's labored breathing and the beat of the old man's heart. He heard the sirens. Captain, a female voice said, Speak, Wing Commander Karina. With respect, sir, you look like shit. That doesn't sound like speaking with respect to me. What do you want, Tay? I have bad news, sire. Sevatar didn't have to fake a smile. Bad news was the one of the few things that never failed to amuse him. Of course you do.